Thanks for joining us. You are doing life with Maria and Chad.
And on today's episode, a confession. I made a purchase, Maria.
Yeah.
I bought a movie that I should have seen a million years ago. Everybody else has probably seen it. But I purchased a digital video disc. Do you remember DVDs?
DVD? That sounds familiar.
They came just after the VHS and the beta tapes. What movie I bought and the details behind that's coming up on today's podcast.
I can't wait to see how much you actually paid for this thing.
Welcome to the podcast. Maria, I want to start things today with a huge concert announcements. Remember we used to do concert announcements on the radio?
Oh, I remember doing those every once in a while.
Now we do them on Spotify.
Every day.
And YouTube. Oh my gosh, yeah. We have a concert announcement coming up at 7, 8, and 9. No, today, this is a big one, and I'm assuming you haven't heard about this yet. When's the last time you were at a drive-in theater?
Oh my gosh. Forever. I remember going to a drive-in. This is going to totally date me, but I remember going to a drive-in movie with my cousin Sue when I was a kid, and we saw the movie The Deep. And there's a scene where there's a girl swimming naked on the top of the water, and she made me close my eyes.
I was trying to think. I think the last time, and this will tell you how long ago it was, I went to a drive-in theater. I saw the movie Twister when it was new. The tornado movie, and there's actually a scene in there where the drive-in gets torn apart by a tornado. So it was actually like especially kind of cool to see it there. Because concerts have been so difficult to figure out how to do, one of our favorites is going on tour to drive-in theaters. 300 of them, I think. Listen to this.
We can put 300, 400 drive-in theaters.
That's the voice of Garth Brooks.
Together, create a concert solely for the drive-ins. We can have families jump in the car, come out on Saturday night. It's pretty cool. They're going to run it just like a regular concert, but this is going to be all over North America, one night only. We are excited because this is a reason to get out of the house. You get to have fun and stay within the guidelines of social distancing, but we're calling it social distancing partying. This should be fun. Well, the great thing is that the blessing and the curse is there's not a lot of tickets because a ticket is a car or a truck and whatever they can legally hold. So it's $100 a car or $100 a truck. If you can get 5 or 6 in there, then you can do the math. I think there's only 250, 300 tickets per.
So there you go.
Oh, that's way inexpensive. I thought it was going to be way more.
$100. How many people? Like I've got my truck. I know I can get at least 5 people in there. So $20 a head. You go and watch Garth Brooks in concert. Now, I should say, because we have people that listen to this all over the country, I know that they've announced one place. I think Fort Worth, Texas might be their first date, but they have not announced. If they're doing 300, they have to be coming through Phoenix, right?
You would think so. I mean, we've got a couple drive-in theaters still working right now.
I know there's one in Mesa that had like a local kind of a bar band that did a show. One of my neighbors went to it recently. But yeah, that's the new music venue. What's old is new. I was literally excited when I saw that. I'm like, because you and I saw him about a little over a year ago in Phoenix. He played the football stadium, State Farm Stadium, and that was 78,000 people, right?
Wasn't it the most, at that time, the largest concert?
In Arizona.
Oh, just in Arizona.
In Arizona, yeah. It was the largest concert ever in Arizona, and probably maybe we'll hold that title forever, the way things are going. But yeah, that's pretty awesome. I will definitely try to get online once I figure out, where we can see them. And $100. I mean, that's great,
Well, when you find out all the information, let me know, and we'll get all the kids on their computers and try to get these tickets. Wouldn't that be so fun?
Should we get our guy that designed our logo for our podcast over in Pakistan? Hey, at 11 a.m. you need to get online and try to buy everybody that get all your friends with their computers. See how many tickets or how many passes for vehicles we can get.
What I picture? This is the T-shirt we need to make if we get tickets. So we all have to wear matching ones. Mm-hmm. I went parking with Garth Brooks.
I like it. I'm sure there'll be merch. I mean, it's got to be all of these artists not that you ever feel sorry for millionaires, but this is like their prime season. They should be out, doing concerts and traveling, and not just the person that's in the front of the stage, but like the drummers and all these other people that are, in a tough spot.
The roadies. I mean, that's how they're making their living. Yeah.
Well, there'll be roadies, I'm sure, different kind of roadies in the cars as you go to Garth Brooks concerts. You can imagine you bring your own cooler. Yeah, I got 5 people and 200 beers. Is that good? Can I get in?
That's plenty.
DUI Central, getting out of that place. I do want to ask you, Maria, I know, is it today your brother is traveling here?
Yeah, I was just going to say, my brother was supposed to fly in to see a concert, the Foo Fighters, back in April. And that show was kind of canceled and pushed back to December. But he still wanted to make a trip out here. And this time he's going to bring his 2 sons. And I think they're 16 and 17 years old.
Gotcha.
And so, yeah, he's flying out today. I have spent the last week cleaning up my house. Because you live in your own filth, you kind of don't realize how messy your house is until you have to clean it up because guests are coming.
Well, let me pause you for just a second. I think we've all been spending so much time in our homes. I've never done so many dishes because we're eating at home all the time. I cleaned the floor yesterday, and then I noticed this morning, and it looks like it hasn't been cleaned. Like you're constantly at home, so your house you kind of live in your own filth. I get that.
Well, and my dog, Mona passed away, but my dog, Olive, it's summer, so she is shedding like a mofo, and I literally have to vacuum every single day. We have concrete floors, and the hair is white. So there is just this sea of dog hair, like a fresh fallen snow all over my house, and I have to vacuum every single day for that. So I'm excited that he's coming. The house is getting sort of cleaned up. I've been in charge of the inside, getting the bedrooms ready, cleaning the bathrooms, that kind of stuff. My husband has been cleaning up the outside. So making sure, the dog poop is cleaned up, the patio is, swept. And we have this awesome terracotta or Talavera fountain that we bought in Mexico. And it wasn't working. And I told my husband, I'm like, listen, you need to get the fountain working because that's part of the backyard. And he's like, okay. Takes down the fountain, and there's a little frog that squirts water. That's the fountain part.
Yeah.
And do you know what a cutter bee is? A leaf cutter bee?
It's not a murder hornet. No, I don't know. It's like a yellow, not a bumblebee. No, I don't know what it is.
Okay. So a leaf cutter bee, from what I read, the females, they can lay their own eggs. They're all they don't really need a boy to take care of anything. So these female leaf cutter bees cut leaves, and they find holes that are already there, whether they're in a tree from a woodpecker or the mouth of a frog in a fountain, and they pack those holes with leaves. They cut leaves in little circles, and they lay their eggs in there. So the baby bees have somewhere warm and safe to grow and mature.
Okay.
Well, it's a pain in the ass because the fountain got all blocked with leaves. So my husband takes wire and he's trying to, roto-rooter the mouth of the frog to get the leaves out, and it's not working.
Yeah.
And I said, I go, why don't you take the hose and put it on super duper hard spray and just blow the leaves out with the water? Oh, that's not going to work. And he's like giving me a hard time. Well, I take over because that's what I do. Get the hose out, spray water up there. And I got to tell you, 500 pieces of leaves blow out of this thing.
And no bees though.
Crazy.
Just the leaves, no bees. Okay.
And no bees that I saw, no eggs, but they could be super small. I don't know.
Yeah.
But who fixed the fountain? I did. That would be me. I fixed the fountain. And it drives my husband nuts when my ideas work, when he says they're not. So,
if you want to see Maria dancing around her home office, go on YouTube right now. If you're not watching us on YouTube, search for Doing Life with Maria and Chad. You can always subscribe and turn on notifications so you can see our new episodes. Speaking of home offices, did you see, you and I are doing this show. I'm in my house, you're in your house, but we can see each other. And that's been the new norm for a lot of people. But one of the big changes when you are working from home is you have all these distractions. So I found this website. It's called soundofcolleagues.com. And let me just play you what they offer. You can have the sounds of your office at home. Listen to these people in the background here. You got the phone ringing. Somebody's over at the copier. Stupid, right?
That's actually kind of ingenious, really.
It says, allows those working from home to create background audio that sounds like they're back at the office. You have sliders on the page to allow you to personalize it by different sounds, turning up the telephone, turning on the coffee. Oh, that must be the coffee machine. The printer, keyboard typing. Customize it so you feel like you're back at the office. Necessary? No. Weird? Yes.
I like when people do their Zoom calls from home and then the kids come in, or the dog or cat jumps up on the keyboard, that's what I think is actually pretty entertaining. I don't think I'd want all that office sound. I think I would enjoy the quiet at home.
We've been watching, it's like the TV news bloopers channel on YouTube where you can see the anchors working from home where their pets like screw with them. And it shows like their 4 takes. They're just trying to do the weather and the cat won't get out of the way and stuff like that. Or
the kids come in. Did you see the one with the weatherman and his kids kept coming into frame?
No, I didn't see that one.
Oh my gosh. He had a green screen in his house and he's trying to do the weather. And the kids are like, well, we want to play, Daddy. And so he's like, okay, Emily, or whatever the girl's name is. And she's like, this is the weather. And then the other kid's crying. And he's like, okay, go back to playing. The kids start crying. And he's like, okay, I guess I'm having help today with the weather. And he just went with it. And he's holding his kid's hand, holding another kid in his arms. And he's trying to point to Montana and the weather.
We actually, our daughter saw something yesterday I wanted to make sure I shared with you on the podcast. So gyms in Arizona have started opening up with different restrictions. Like gyms will have like every other treadmill's open so you don't catch the Rona, right? So we go to our little community gym yesterday. And it's another woman, my daughter and I, and then in another room, there's another couple. So I felt so sorry that I didn't notice what happened, but my daughter became the hero. There was a lady, it turns out she had just had some surgery on her ankle or something. So she was not 100%, but she was walking on a treadmill. And Georgia was in a position where she could see this lady. So she stepped off the treadmill and went down on the ground.
The woman with the bad ankle?
With the bad ankle. And we actually we've met her one time, so we kind of know who she is. But Georgia was able to like help her up. But I think about that and I sympathize with her because so many people have, they've talked about the COVID-15. Have you heard of that? People gaining 15 pounds because they're in quarantine. It happens.
Guilty.
And so this lady's on the ground. She's trying to exercise and do the right thing and still just wipes out, like totally bites it. I didn't see it, and I'm sure she would have been embarrassed if anybody saw it. But yeah, Georgia came to the rescue and helped the lady out that was on the floor.
She is a hero. Another reason I love your daughter so much.
She probably got coronavirus helping her out, but
On a kind of a more serious note, and I know this is kind of controversial, and I'm not trying to hit the Cutterbee nest or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I read this morning that HBO Max is suspending the viewing of Gone with the Wind because of the way the movie portrays African Americans in a stereotypical old-fashioned way. Does that make sense?
Can I ask a dumb question? Because I've never seen Gone with the Wind. Does it? Like, I don't even know what that's about. Like, what's the story?
I haven't seen it in a long time, but it has black people as slaves.
Oh, okay.
In the movie.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And it's supposedly like the greatest movie of all time. Like when you see the movie list, it's always up there as like the greatest movie of all time.
Totally. And there's a couple reasons I'm upset about this. Number one, it's a great movie and has won a ton of awards. And it is unfortunate the way that African Americans are portrayed. but that is a representation of our history and how far we've come. Does that make sense?
Right.
And I'm going to get back to Gone with the Wind in a second, but if they're going to, suspend Gone with the Wind, are they going to suspend MASH? Because those darn doctors were totally sexually harassing all those nurses, but it's a comedy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you've
So anyway,
seen all of the news of taking statues down of historic people that obviously lived in a different time and did things that wouldn't be acceptable today. It's a crazy world.
Absolutely.
Did you see that Splash Mountain? They're talking about changing the theme of Splash Mountain at Disney because of the Song of the South, which all based on the Song of the South from a 1946 film, has stereotypes of spiritual black men that are, it's like a nostalgic view of the antebellum South, which isn't acceptable today. So they're going to try to, I guess somebody wants to change it to one of the more modern, what's the Princess and the Frog theme?
okay.
That was one of the things, but yeah, it's
well, Disney is always changing. But again, the reason I wanted to bring up Gone with the Wind, and I don't know if you know this, but the black maid in that movie, Hattie McDaniel, that's her real name. She has since passed away, but she is a singer, songwriter, actress, comedian. She won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress from that movie and was the first African American to win an Oscar.
Wow. Yeah, it's tough to guess what changes are coming. I just one, embarrassed to say, I've never talking about movies I've never seen. I've never seen Gone with the Wind. I've never seen This Is Spinal Tap. Have you ever seen that?
Parts of it. I think I would like to watch it now.
Yeah.
Because I saw it when I was younger, and I don't think I quite got it, but I think I would get it more now.
So I've seen parts of it. I've seen turn it up to 11. I've seen the clips and the highlights. So I've never seen it. And I went on Amazon Prime and I'm like, okay, how much is it? It's $13 or something to watch it on Amazon Prime. So I just looked on eBay. And I won an eBay auction, and now I am the proud owner of the DVD, which we still have one DVD player, of This Is Spinal Tap. It arrived yesterday. So once I watch it, it's yours. We can both enjoy it today.
Well, if it was $13 or so to buy it on Amazon, what did you pay for it on eBay?
Well, funny you ask. So $1.99 was my bid, but it was $3 shipping. So $4.99. So I figured, it's worth $5. I'll
all right. So when you're done, let me borrow it, and then I'll just return it.
No, well, make sure you rewind. No, what is that? $2.50? Yeah, we made a deal. So before we
be kind, rewind.
Exactly. Well, you have to be a certain age to remember that, right? I want to share with you one of the crazy stories that I saw on the internet this morning. Let me ask you this question before I tell you what this guy did. You can give me an answer in just a second. So if you could break into any restaurant and make yourself some food, which restaurant would you do and what food would you make? Think about that. I'll get your answer in just a second. But This happened in South Carolina. Waffle House apparently should never close. So they have video of this guy. He's dressed in a suit. He went through the front door of the restaurant. It doesn't show whether or not he broke the window. I think he just kind of pushed it open or whatever. So he was in there, goes into Waffle House, goes into food storage, and makes himself not one, not two, but 3 meals with their stuff. He ate the meals and then stole a box of Santa gloves, sanitation gloves.
Oh, like the rubber glove things,
gloves. Took those, and they have them all on video, but he made his meals, made off, and they don't know who he is, except for he's like a businessman that was really hungry and wanted some Waffle House.
Now, am I mistaken, but hasn't that happened in Waffle House before?
I think that, yes. I think I've seen it where somebody snuck into the back and then they closed up and then they came out and made their food, or they stayed in the bathroom or something. We've talked about it before. And then didn't somebody
make their own food and then pay for it?
Yes.
Like left money and then left?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be Waffle House for me if I was going to break into a place. I would have to say, I was talking to my wife about this yesterday. Like, I have a craving for that place that you and I have gone many times, Los Dos Molinos.
Ooh.
Because I like the hatch chili pepper, spicy Mexican food. And that's not something that we've been able to replicate at home. So for you, Maria, what restaurant would it be?
Well, I was thinking that you actually had to know how to cook. Like when you break into the restaurant,
that
you
disqualifies me for everything. I can't cook a darn thing.
So that's why your answer kind of threw me off.
Okay.
When you first mentioned it, I was going to say, and I know you're going to be real surprised, Taco Bell.
Yep.
Because I love me some Taco Bell. And what I would make is the nacho cheese chalupa because they don't make it anymore. You can get a chalupa, but you can't get the nacho cheese chalupa. So I do the nacho cheese chalupa. I would bring back the lava sauce, which again, they don't have anymore. And I throw a bunch of lava sauce on that one too.
All right. So here's the thing. If you haven't followed us on Instagram, you can answer that question and we'll share your results on our next podcast. Tell us what restaurant you would break into and what you would make. On Instagram, we're at Maria and Chad. And then, Maria, run down all the different places where people can listen to our podcast.
Okay, let me see if I can remember all these. We're working on all of them.
Yeah.
Google Podcast.
Yep.
Spotify.
Yep.
TuneIn.
Very good.
We're on the TuneIn app now.
Uh-huh.
What did I miss?
YouTube. Yeah.
Obviously, we're here. Hey.
Yep. Watch us on YouTube and then make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. So the question again, if you could break into any restaurant and make your own meal, what restaurant would you choose and what would you make? All right.
And there's a little asterisk there. Apparently, you don't need to know how to cook because once you enter this restaurant, you all of a sudden are a chef.
You get that magical knowledge to make it just like you like it. Thanks again for checking out the podcast. Maria, always great talking with you, and have fun with your brother Paul this weekend.
I'll have more details on that next week, I'm sure. If I remember.